It is getting relatively good around North Canterbury. Certainly if you're looking at a wee bit of rain falling on the pastures and other bits and pieces around North Canterbury. 12 minutes past 9, and with me is Māori Black, Mayor of the Hurunui. Mari, you're in Cheviot last night and it was raining up there at that particular stage. Do you know whether the rain is still falling in the Hurunui?
Well, look, it did rain. I got home about 10:30 last night and it was raining most of the way home from Cheviot, and it rained through the night and at home in Hurunui area, and I left home at 6 o'clock this morning to come through to Rangiora to attend the Big Brother, Big Sister fundraising breakfast, and I suspect it's been raining ever since, but I don't have any measurements that I could add to it, but it's pleasing to know that it can still do it, actually, and gentle rain is certainly going to be more rewarding than a deluge, so, it's a start.
You've been on the land for your entire life, haven't you? You've been on farms your entire
Correct.
life. The only farming that I tend to do is get to dig the potatoes out of the bag that I get from the supermarket. That's pretty much that's where I sort of end up. It's drought conditions in the Hurunui at the moment, and this rain has just got to be good, however amount it is.
Yes, that's right. I mean, I guess one has to always consider, what benefit it will bring, but if it does bring successive frosts or we turn to harsh cold conditions, certainly the ground temperature is going to not be conducive with growing season,
Yep,
it's I wouldn't say it's a game changer at this stage, but it certainly will be lifting the morale of all of those hard-working farmers and, people working the land, I think that we need to just take it in measured amounts and say this is a promising start.
It's quite, absolutely. Sometimes mental, having a positive mental break is always a good thing too. Can you please have you may not be over this story, but it is interesting that the Hurunui is renowned for some amazing scenery and events and other things to do for local tourism and international tourism when that gets back up and running again. But it's also, the Hurunui is sort of famous for having Canterbury's biggest landfill. What do you know? Do you know much about Kate Valley? Because I've never actually been there. How big an operation is it at Kate Valley?
Oh, actually, Kerry, it is absolutely worth a visit. And I'm sure that Rangi, who runs the operations up at Kate Valley, would welcome your visit. I have been fortunate enough to visit on 2 or 3 occasions with council. It is a very slick operation. It is a very well run, and you need to see it to believe it, to be honest, the magnitude, but actually the attention to detail to ensure that waste that we are all contributing to, is part of the journey of we're all contributing to that, so we've got to minimise that. But actually what they do at Kate Valley is it really is first class, and a first class operation, and they do quite a lot of visits for education type visits when you can have a look at the operation, and it is totally worthwhile going to have a look.
I think that's something that we possibly all should be doing, is having a look at the waste. It's, how much waste that we do produce as an individual and as a region. And the reason why I'm asking is that there was a story saying that there's a 6,500 tonne of contaminated waste coming out of Christchurch, a fertiliser plant there, and I made a mental note to have a chat to you about it from Ravensdown. But that's another. Hey, that's really a good idea to actually try and go and have a look.
Yeah, look, I mean, if you want, we can talk about this another day, but I can happily facilitate that for you, Kerry. So we'll see how that goes.
Brilliant stuff. I've got a high vis vest. I can put that on. That won't be a problem.
Yes, well, you would be required, but really they're very smart operators, and I think the responsibility that we have as an individual and as a community is to ensure that we don't have the volumes going to into the waste stream. We've got to be smart in our purchasing. To try and change that influence. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an individual thing. If you do it and I do it, and then someone someone else is going to do it because they heard us talking about it, and then before you know it, it's all good. Mari, I know that you're in Rangiora and you're a wee bit busy at a breakfast. I do appreciate you coming to the phone. You do it every Wednesday for me, and I appreciate that. It's really, really cool. It's nice to get a bit of a pulse of what's happening in the Hurunui. So until next Wednesday, you look after yourself.
Oh, Kerry, can I just say a little bit about the long-term plan engagement sessions within the Hurunui?
Oh, let's do that, yes.
Is that okay? Just to say, particularly if you're from the Cheviot area or the Greta Valley area, we have a drop-in session on Friday the 14th. That's this Friday between 1:30 and 2:30 at the Cheviot Library, and then on Friday afternoon at Fossil Point Cafe between 4 and 5 p.m. So if you have had a wee look at our consultation document, please come along. There'll be some councillors there along with myself, and if you have any queries or questions about the proposal that we have put to our community, we would be happy to help some understanding around that. So and then there's going to be farmers market on Saturday and Tuesday, Wednesday next week. So have a wee look on the website, ring the council, talk to your local councillor if you need to know when those drop-in sessions, and we're going to have 3 larger sessions, but they're not till a little bit later in May, so we can talk about them as they get a bit closer.
It's always good to go along to these and ask questions. That's what it's all about. Ask questions, make your point known, and head to the Hurunui District Council webpage. We'll probably try and find a link and put it on our Facebook page for those that would want to do that, Mari. Hey, again,
wonderful.
Thanks so much for coming on. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Thanks, Kerry.
Compass FM.